Okay, and we're live. Welcome. All right,
Hey,
greetings, book friends, near and far, and somewhere in between two succulents. We're back with another. I tonight have the great honor of speaking with the illustrious Eric Nguyen. Welcome, Eric. Welcome to the show.
hey, thanks for having me. Glad to
Can
be
you
here.
hear me?
I
Oh,
can
you're
hear you,
welcome.
yes.
Oh, great. So great to have you. Okay, great, great. We might have a little bit of delay happening. So, Eric, you used to, now you live in Rockville, but you did live in the 51st state of Washington, D.C., or a gridlocked dystopian swamp, depending on what cable news network you listen to. But before you found yourself now in Rockville, you earned an MFA in creative writing from, can you say, McNeese State University in Louisiana? Is it
Yes.
McNeese?
Yeah, McNeese, that's
Nice.
right pronunciation.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Where you actually began writing this book years ago. Is that right?
Yeah, I began writing it as my MFA thesis, and I worked through it for 3 years, and then after I graduated, I worked on it for 4 more years, so 7 years in
Whoa,
total of in the making.
7 years. See, don't never give up on whatever you're doing, no matter how long it takes. You know what I mean? Because it took 7 years, but you have written an exquisite book. I mean, it is just everything that I love in a novel. I mean, family, home, identity, longing, loss, metaphor, and beauty. I mean, it's really incredible. And you can pick up yours at charmcitybooks.com online. And hopefully, we're gonna get Eric in here sometime. Let me go. Like I said, usually I'm behind the scenes, so I have all of these things I have to do. Well, there it is. Order What We Lost in Water online at charmcitybooks.com. So you've also been awarded things such as, let me just pull it up before I have it, the Lambda Literary Award Fellowship. Of course, that's one of them. And Voices of Our Nation Arts. And when you're not penning stunning debut novels, you are the editor in chief of Diacritics for the Diasporic Vietnamese Artists Network, whose mission is to celebrate and foster diasporic Vietnamese literary voices. Now, how long have you been involved with DVAN for short?
Yeah, I've been involved with DBAN since I would say 2012, so about the time I started my MFA program. At first, I was just like a staff writer for them, and eventually I became one of their many editors, and now I'm the editor in chief, which I started about like October. Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Well, that I think definitely deserves a big round of applause. Yes, yes, editor in chief. That is what is up. Great. That I mean, that really is incredible. So please, everyone, make sure that you do check out dvan.org. That's dvan.org, friends. Now it is time for what maybe all four people watching at any given time, and Davin's mom, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. I'm sure you're watching. Lisa Ralston. Tune in for, and it's a little segment we like to call "Pick Your Plant." I'll introduce you to our succulent VIPs, and you'll share with Lisa which one you're relating to at this very moment. So Davin has been kind enough. So my wife, Davin, she's the owner, proprietor, founder of Charm City Books, and she's also a great connoisseur of plants. And from Plantasia, shout out to Lisa at Plantasia in Baltimore. So I'm going to show you a couple of our plant VIPs, and you're going to tell me which one is singing the song of your siren's heart today. Okay, so here we go. Plant number one. Let's do this. You know what? Let me do this real quick. Okay, Eric, here we go. No, wait, let me go here. No, I'm like I said, usually I'm behind the scenes. Okay, so here, wow. Eric, we have, let me do this actually. Yes, now we can see Eric wonderfully. Maybe do that. Okay, and we have, oh God, turn it upside down, Joe. Okay, this is the autograph tree, or Clusia rosea, and it is native to the Caribbean, including the Bahamas, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Florida. The name comes from the thick wavy leaves. Due to the nature of them, you can actually scratch things into them, such as an autograph, and the etching will remain there on the leaf for years as the tree grows. And she does not easily forget. In the West Indies, people would etch their name into the leaf and plant it to watch it grow. It likes full sun and high humidity. Okay, it's in a pretty good location here in Baltimore, actually. All right, and so now our second plant. Woo! Oh my gosh, look at that. Is the string of pearls, or Senecio rollianus. It is a quirky and beautiful flowering plant in the daisy family. It is creeping, perennial, succulent vine native to the drier parts of southwest Africa. It creates these long strands of tiny pearls and also blooms with dandelion type fuzzy flowers, which you can actually kind of see here. We've had this one in the shop for a little while now. Where are we here? And the strings can grow very, very long. It is very easy to propagate or grow another plant from just a tiny piece of this strand, aka it is super, super adaptable. Withstands drought well and loves full sun and is a very visually stunning plant, which is true. We keep this in the window at the shop, actually. So there we go. So Eric, oh God, I've lost my notes. I've dropped the plant. Everything's going terribly, terribly wrong for me in this moment. Eric, which of these two plants is speaking to you in this moment?
Well, I like both of them, but I think I'm leaning more towards the autograph plant just because I can write on it. As a writer, I feel like a connection with that. And it thrives in hot and humid areas. And like that, I feel like that's me as well. I hate the cold and like summer, bring it on.
Yes, that is correct, Eric. That is exactly the plant you are relating to. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so now your debut novel, and I think that's a really cool thing to be able to say to somebody is that you have a debut novel. Because I mean, how many people in the world are like, I've got a novel in me, but they never make it, and you've done it, and it took you 7 years, but it's out into the world, and it just must be such a wonderful feeling to have it out there. And things we lost to the water. Let me punch that up right there. It tells the story of a Vietnamese family, a mother and two sons who relocate to New Orleans while the father remains in Saigon after the American War or the Vietnamese War. Depending on where you live and maybe your political perspective on things. And I would just, as somebody who is a transplant myself in a variety of ways, home is a really interesting theme to me in stories and in my own life. And so, could you talk a little bit with our viewers about the role that home plays in this book? I mean, changing homes, the search for a sense of home, making a home for ourselves, or how we find home in one another and in the identities that we forge. Oops.
Yeah, so I think in the book, home is a very important theme. I think the characters, they lose a home in the beginning by fleeing Vietnam and after the communist takeover. And they do settle in New Orleans. At first, it doesn't feel like home. So home is it's definitely more than a place. It's where you find yourself settling into, where you find um, a piece of yourself there. As one of my characters say, that New Orleans eventually belongs to her. So I feel like it's more than a place. It's a place that's lived. It's a place where you find that you're comfortable with. Like my characters, she eventually learns all the streets. She can walk without a map. So really, home is a place where you feel comfortable with. And beyond that, it's not just a place, but also the people you're around, who you surround yourself with, people who you feel comfortable with. So my characters is not just the place itself, but the people they make friends with, the people that they find commonalities with. So home is basically for my characters where they're most comfortable with, where they're at ease, and that process is a lifelong process. Really, it doesn't really happen automatically. Even when you settle to a place, it could take years, especially for my characters, who indeed it takes them until the end of the book really to really call it a home.
Wow. Yeah. That's That's awesome, and it is, and everybody watching and watching at home and watching in the future, you can order at www.charmcitybooks.com. Again, it's a beautiful, beautiful novel, and you're right down in because now you grew up some in Washington D.C. Yeah.
In the DC area. So I was born in Tacoma Park, then Silver Spring, and then out in Laurel.
Okay,
And
so
then I went
you're
to
a
school.
Marylander. You're a
Yes,
Marylander, really?
by
Yeah,
birth, yes.
nice. That's great. That's great. So, oh, my wife is. What is she doing? I'm getting sound is gone. I don't know how that's possible. Uh, I think it might be on her part. I don't know how. You can hear me and I can hear you. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, then I think we're fine. My wife, my Davin is texting me as as we're talking. Awesome, awesome. So now, it is time. Let me get my notes together here. Um, I did not find your answer to be shocking, but this next segment is downright electric. It is time for drumroll, please. The lightning round. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong graphic. Okay, there's the one we want. All right, and you might recognize Doc Brown there, trying to get the DeLorean up to speed. So I'm going to ask you three questions. If you answer all three correctly in the time allotted, one lucky viewer, which appears to be Davin, will win a copy of your book, Things We Lost to the Water from Penguin Random House. Eric, are you ready?
Definitely.
Okay, it is time to ride the lightning, folks. Question one. In your book, Things We Lost to the Water, what does water represent?
Water represents basically things that can save us. So water basically saves his family from an oppressive regime, but also the things that we can lose. So they lose their home, and eventually, um, I don't want to give away the ending, but they lose much more again to the water, like literally at the end. So basically, water means a force that can save you, but it can also kill you in many ways.
That is correct. Round of applause, everybody. That is correct. Wonder. Oops. God, I got see. This is why I'm supposed to only do one thing at a time, Eric. You nailed it. Okay. Now this question number two, is a two-parter. All right. Bars and restaurants are reopening, and I mean, you don't live in DC now, but so now you're in Rockville. Now you said right.
Yes.
So, what is one of your favorite spots to go check out in Rockville for our Baltimoreans and Marylanders who might be looking for a good spot in Rockville?
Well, actually,
And when will you be visiting our shop in Baltimore to sign some books and maybe do a reading?
yeah. So, the first part of the question, I don't really know what's in Rockville, honestly, since like the pandemic. Like, I've been inside, and that's basically when I moved to Rockville. But if we're talking about like DC, I know more of the bar scene there. So like one of my favorite bars like before the pandemic would be like Nelly's, which is I think off the U Street corridor. It's a gay bar. It's a nice community and good people. I think that's what makes a good bar. And the second question, I guess as soon as possible. I've been since my book release, I've been like going around different bookstores, especially indie bookstores, to meet booksellers and sign books. And you're on my list.
Yes. Okay. Well, that is. Let me check the notes. That is correct. Round of applause for Eric, everybody. Yeah. Well, we can't wait to have you up in the shop and to have you sign some books. Question number three. What is a hidden or not so secret talent you have, or maybe that you would like to have?
Um, I don't think I really have any secret talent, but something I would like to have would be the ability to, I guess, write faster. The first book took 7 years, and hopefully the second book won't take too long. So, like, writing faster would be really helpful.
That is correct. Congratulations, Eric. You are the champion of this week's lightning round. Round of applause, everybody. Give it up for Eric. One lucky viewer. is going to win a Charm City Books. Well, actually, usually we give away a magnet, but we're giving away a book. And at this time, look at that. Okay, well, congratulations to Danny Stoller. You have won yourself a copy of Things We Lost to the Water by Eric Nguyen. Wonderful. Okay, Eric, what's up next for you? And that could be anything. I mean, it could be what you're doing later tonight. It could be, you got you got like a tennis lesson. Who knows? What do you got going on next?
Um, Tonight in the short term, hopefully dinner and some relaxation. I've been traveling recently, so like the next couple hours just relaxing. More on the professional side, another book that hopefully won't take 7 years to write.
Yeah, okay, fingers crossed, because I know people are going to really be waiting for your next book after they order this one at charmcitybooks.com. Okay, I mean, it really is quite beautiful. I mean, just from the very beginning, I was captivated. There's a sense of urgency and, anxiety that maybe everybody might not, like, want. I know some people, sometimes my wife and I will like, not be able to decide what we're going to watch, because I tend to like the things that have me on the edge of my seat, or are panic inducing. And so I just love your book because of there's this sense of urgency to it, but also this like steady beauty. And I mean, for me, like aesthetically, it just really speaks to me. So thank you so much for your wonderful novel. And then, I'd love to know, are there any organizations that you would like to share with our viewers that you want to uplift in this moment and amplify?
Yeah, a organization that I feel means a lot to my novel as a New Orleans novel is Valia, Vayla, and they're a New Orleans-based, I would say, youth or community organization, and they train basically the next generation of justice activists. They started within the Vietnamese community, the Vietnamese American community in New Orleans, but they have really reached out and really work with the youth and the community in New Orleans at large. So they're an organization close to my heart and close to this book.
That's awesome. All right. Well, we'll be sure to link to that in our show notes when we post the show later. Eric, it has been my great pleasure and honor to spend a little bit of time with you. Thank you so much for the novel and the stories that you have made and shared with the world. It may have taken 7 years, but it was damn well worth the wait. Also, I got a bunch of friends in New Orleans. How long were you in New Orleans for?
Um, well, I was in Lake Charles, which is actually 3 hours away from New Orleans, but I traveled there a lot throughout my MFA program. So like 3 years, basically for every weekend or so. When I had the time, I was there because it's New Orleans.
Did you ever see the? I played Stanley Kowalski in a production of a streetcar named. Did you ever go to a Stella calling competition?
No, but I've heard them, and like I want to get out there, like once the pandemic's over, to just like watch that, because like I've seen like video of it, and it's like really amazing, and I just want to experience that.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Well, watch out, New Orleans, because Eric is coming back, and maybe you're going to participate. Who knows? You know what I mean? You might. Eric, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody at home, go ahead, get vaccinated. In the meantime, though, if you don't, keep your masks up, keep social distance, be nice to your servers. That's Joe. I won't be here again. Brandon or Megan will be back in the future weeks. We're going to be moving to Tuesday nights, maybe a little later. Eric, it's been an honor. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was really fun.
All right. We'll see you next week, folks.